Yo, what's going down, Green Screen Entertainment fans? Your boy Jay Green back with yet another review. Right now, I'm going to give y'all my review for Train to Busan Presents The Peninsula. This is a sequel film, and it is a sequel to the original Train to Busan that came out in 2016. Now, that first movie was about a father and a daughter on a train to Busan because they're trying to outrun a zombie pandemic, if you will. This film kind of picks up where it left off, but not completely. I'm going to break down all my thoughts, feelings, if I think you'll like it, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, the whole shebang-a-bang, okay? So stick around, I'm going to give y'all some good stuff. Now, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, I want to thank you. Hopefully you stick around to the end of the video and I can earn a like and a subscribe. If you are already subscribed to my channel, thank you, because you have no idea how much that supports me and my channel. Yo, let's get into it. Alright fam, now check it out. Like I said before, I did review the original 2016 version of Train to Busan. If you want to check that review out, you can find it in the link above. If you don't want any spoilers whatsoever as to what is going on or how that movie already ended, because I am going to address it in this film, then go check out that movie and then come on back to this review. You feel me? Alright everybody, so check it out. I'm going to be a little bit all over the place with this film because there is so much going on and so much I want to say about it. So what I'm going to start out with is basically the plot, if you will, of the film. Then I'm going to go into maybe where they went wrong and what I think they should have done. Then I'm going to kind of talk about why I felt like this movie didn't necessarily hold up to the original. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying that it didn't hold up. All right, everybody, so the movie starts out, we got this military dude and he's taking his sister's family to a ship for safety. Now, on the way to the ship, he meets a family on the road. You got a father, daughter, and the wife, okay? They're asking for help, but the dad, he's all bloodied up, so we don't know if he's been bit. Remember, there's a zombie pandemic. This dude cannot just be pulling over, run the risk of killing everybody in his car, and or just getting tied up with them and not making it to the ship, okay? So, we look at that situation and we say, damn, these people are effed up. They are in trouble. This is how bad it is. He can't even stop for this family. It kind of sets the tone, right? So they get on the ship. When they get on the ship, someone is infected, ends up turning into a zombie. Next thing you know, his nephew and his sister, boom, they out. The husband, he's still alive, pissed off, like, why didn't you save them? But it's not really that guy's fault. That guy was handling some stuff with the upper management on the ship, trying to find out where they're going because they've been rerouted. Now, we cut to 4 years later, okay? 4 years later, they're in somewhere in Korea, right? Not on the peninsula, but they're somewhere, and they're technically like refugees in this area. Because of everything that's gone on and all the people that were saved from the peninsula, they don't technically have a home. So it's like a government issue going on to the point where people don't want them there because they feel like they're infected and they're gonna bring disease to them. And the government doesn't know what to do with them because there's just no records and it's very challenging for them to figure out who's who. Now, our main character from the very beginning, the military guy that was driving the car, he is devastated. He's walking around all mopey, real Eeyore-like, right? But hey, you would be too if you realized you couldn't save your sister and your nephew, and then you keep replaying that family that was on the road like, damn, should I have left them? Maybe I could have saved them. So he's really feeling down about himself. But even the husband, his sister's husband, his brother-in-law is like, yo, you didn't even try. And he's not talking about you didn't try necessarily to save him. I think he kind of got over it. He's telling him, you haven't tried to live without them. Damn, kind of deep. Okay, let's get it. So, 4 years later, like I said before, we get some news clips and some news reels about what's going on. Just kind of telling us what's the deal in the peninsula and what's the deal with them and where they're at right now. Now, I do feel like it's heavy exposition, but I'm going to let it slide right now. It's a zombie movie, okay? So soon after that, we learn that the way that they make their money is by dealing with the wrong type of people. Remember, they don't have government papers, so they can't really get a job there. They're not from there, and people there think that they're infected with the disease and just going to bring trouble for them, so nobody wants to hire them or even serve them, okay? So what happens is they get called into the chambers of one of these types of dudes that's doing a lot of stuff under the table. They come up with a plan to go to the peninsula, remember, the zombie-infected area across the water where nobody is supposed to be able to survive, to steal a truck that they heard about randomly that apparently has millions of American dollars in it. And they about to come up on some Scrooge McDuck paper for real. And that's basically the plot of the film, at least in the beginning, because this movie doesn't really know what it wants to be. And throughout the course of the film, this film is going to change its plot and its tactics quite often. So, as I said before, it starts out as that zombie pandemic, letting us know what's going on and the severity of it, but then it now turns into a heist film. They get across the water, they find the truck that they're looking for, it's got the money in it. All of a sudden, they're ambushed. When they get ambushed, a bunch of the dudes on the team die. Of course, not our main guys, the husband and the main military dude from the very beginning, they gonna live, of course. But as they are running from the people that ambushed them, they get caught up in the midst of some zombies. Right when our main guy, the main military dude, is about to get got, all of a sudden the SUV comes up, poof, hits the zombie flies, and then the window rolls down and it's a young girl. I'm talking about like 13, 14, maybe. Definitely not old enough for a learner's permit. She's like, get in the car, come on. And this dude is like looking around like stunned. And at first I'm kind of thinking, why are you stunned? Haven't these zombies been around for like 4 years? You know you need to get your ass up out of there. He finally gets in the car. She's driving. Now this movie goes from a heist film to Fast and the Furious because she's driving all around town like Vin Diesel trying to prove to everybody that he's got a 10-second car. So now our two main dudes are separated, right? Our military dude, he's with this young girl, her sister, and then when she takes him back to their little lair, their little hideout, he meets her grandpa, who's like this crazy military dude, and he also meets her mom. And wouldn't you know it, that the mom is the same mom from the road he was driving on in the beginning of the film. She done survived with the daughters, and now here she is, 4 years later, the person that's gonna take him in and nurse his ass back to health. So this movie done went from a zombie pandemic to a heist movie to Fast and the Furious to now it's goddamn serendipity. But wait, there's more. Remember, the dude that he was rocking with is still alive. He actually hid in the back of the money truck. Now he hid back there for 2 reasons. 1, because of the dudes that was ambushing him. He ain't trying to get shot. And 2, because of the zombies. He ain't trying to get bit. Remember, this is still a zombie film, and his ass can get killed one of 2 ways. So the dudes that ambushed, they take the truck back to their camp, back to their lair. We find out over time that these guys are actually military trained men and were sent into the peninsula to save any remaining survivors. But maybe because of funding or the government just said, piss off, we can't go in there, it's too dangerous, they got left behind. Now it's on some Mad Max Thunderdome shit because they're scrounging to survive with whatever they can. When they get back, they think that this truck is a food truck and they're about to come up big on some cans of tuna. That's how desperate these dudes are. Now, as soon as the dude that was leading this heist, this ambush, if you will, goes around to the back of the truck and opens it up, they all see that this guy is in there. And he's trying to tell him, yo, don't kill me, I'm not infected, it's all good. But they ain't trying to hear that. They're like, who the hell is this dude? They end up taking him, strip his ass almost butt naked, and then they paint like a 61 on him and then put him in this bin with a bunch of other dudes. They end up putting them into this arena where they're gonna fight a bunch of other zombies. So now this movie went from zombie pandemic to a heist film, to Fast and the Furious, to Serendipity, to Mad Max Thunderdome, to now it's goddamn Gladiator? What the fuck, man? Pick a lane. All right, y'all, so I'm going to cut it right there. I don't want to give away any more of the plot or any more spoilers on accident. And the reason why is because I do think this was a fun film. Like I said at the top of my review, it is nothing compared to the original Train to Busan that came out in 2016. I think that Train to Busan Presents Peninsula is a far inferior film, but if you do just want something that's fun to watch and has zombies randomly sprinkled in it, check it out. Now, the reason why I think it's a far inferior film is because of the fact is the original Train to Busan gave characters development, backstory, and depth. So then that way when the characters had to show us emotion, whether it be them being afraid or them being sad because a certain person wasn't able to make it, we felt with the characters in that moment. This film just has a plot and characters to take us through that plot. And to me, that is not something I'm invested in. I could care less when anybody really dies in this movie. And if I'm able to kind of call the shots as they're coming, I'm not really surprised in any type of way, like from what the first film did for me. Now, another big problem that I had with this movie was the fact that it does not play by its rules that it set up in the first film. I cannot stand it when a movie sets up its universe and then breaks the rules that it set for itself. And let me explain what I mean by that. Take a movie like The Matrix. In The Matrix, we're told that in the real world, you can get shot, You can get stabbed, you can get thrown off a building, and you're probably gonna get effed up. But in the Matrix, you can jump over buildings. In the Matrix, you can dodge bullets. So whenever Neo is doing that shit in the Matrix, we believe it because you told us he can do it there. But if he's in the real world, in any way, shape, or form, we know we gotta be worried about our hero because he can get fucked up. In the original Train to Busan, trains move a certain speed that's realistic to trains. Cars move a certain speed that's realistic to cars. People run realistic speeds and they fight with realistic capabilities, if you will, okay? But in the second movie, they threw all those rules out the way. Cars can go as fast as they need to go in order to get away from whoever they want to get away from. People can run as fast as they need to run, jump as high as they need to jump, or shoot as well as they need to shoot in order to get out of the sticky situations that they're in. So our people that we're hoping will survive are never in any true danger. So not only does it take me out of the film because they're never in any real true danger, but at the same time, I'm annoyed and taken out of the film because you continue to break the rules of reality that you set up in the original movie. All right, y'all, well, you've come to the end of the video where I'm about to break down my final thoughts, the conclusion of all of my ranting. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit through this portion of the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you're getting something out of this, whether it be entertaining or something insightful that's going to help you make the decision if you want to spend the $5.99 on Amazon for this film. And if I did, do your homie a favor, hook me up with a like and a subscribe. As I've told you before, it really helps out the channel. I thank you in advance. Now, my final thoughts on the film are this. In the end of the day, I know I'm bagging on this movie. It was a fun movie. I did enjoy it to an extent. But going into it, I was looking forward to so much more. Remember, if you saw my review before, you know that I gave the original Train to Busan a stellar review. I thought that it was great and definitely a change of pace for a zombie film that I have not been privy to. So coming into this one, I'm expecting it just to expand upon that. You didn't even have to do that much, but this movie goes through so many different films, so many different swags that I'm like, I don't really know what you want this to be, and I'm completely caught off guard, and it just took me out the film. So if you're just watching this to watch a zombie movie, have a good time, take some time up in your afternoon, then I think it's gonna be a fine choice. But if you're looking for it to be something that's a continuation of the original Train to Busan, you might as well just not watch this one. It might not be for you. All right, fam. Well, that's all I got for you right now. Yo, tune in next week. I'm going to bring y'all one of the most forgotten Thanksgiving films of all time, which isn't really that challenging because most people forget about Thanksgiving movies all the time. Christmas movies get all the love, but I'm about to bring y'all some Thanksgiving shit, okay? Between now and then, stay safe, stay healthy, kiss your loved ones. Jay Green, I'm out.